It's only been a week, and boy, do I have some news that's going to send your eyebrows. First and foremost, ACX is going to be increasing their royalties. Oh, but right now it's in limited access. I'll give you more details about that here soon. Also, the Kindlepreneur Dave Chesson just updated his article about keywords. You want to make sure you dive into this article with some of those updates as well. And then, of course, Bookvault, the print-on-demand company based out of the UK. They have distribution in UK as well as the US. And well, now they have expanded to Australia. All that in the self-publishing news for January 13th of 2025. Almost for a second said 2024, but I stopped myself from saying that. But what I'm not going to stop myself from saying at this point is going to be my sponsors, Book Award Pro. I've gushed about them, 42 book awards across a dozen different publications over the past few years. They are my go-to resource for marketing. In fact, you actually will see that they're trusted by 10,000 authors for book awards and reviews on Amazon, as well as editorial reviews. Award-winning authors have a lot to say, no asterisks, no disclaimers. This is honest feedback from real Book Award pros. Users, and you can find that at bookawardpro.com/testimonials. You'll be able to see a lot more of these things. And by the way, Book Award Pro does not pay for testimonials. These folks are giving it of their own free will. This is kind of nice. So if you ever kind of like on the fence, I don't know if Book Award Pro is right for me. And if you've been on the fence for a little bit, maybe you saw them last year and you're like, Dale, I don't know. They more recently changed their model. They used to have 4 different pricing tiers. Now they have 3, and all of them are more, well, free is going to be free, obviously, but the premium plans are significantly less than what they used to be, as well as additional options you can kind of unlock there. But find out more details about Book Award Pro. Go on over, visit my affiliate link at dalelinks.com/Book Award Pro. Big shout out to Hannah and Jay Jacobson over there at the Book Award Pro team. I appreciate the both of you for supporting this podcast. They are going to be going on 8 months in total of supporting this podcast, and I can't thank them enough for that. Alrighty, first piece of news. Let's just go ahead and get to it because a lot of people are probably very concerned here. Coming soon to ACX, Audiobook Creation Exchange, a new royalty model and more opportunities to earn. Now, this one flew under my radar. November the 7th, they put out a blog post essentially saying, hey, we're going to be increasing rates. Let me go ahead and read to you verbatim about what their new model will include. So Audible's excited to share that today ACX is inviting a select group of creators to participate in early access to our new royalty model and new features. Ooh, new royalty model, new features. We first introduced this new model earlier this year, prioritizing equity, flexibility, and insight for creators. The new royalty model evolved out of ongoing conversations with authors and publishers of all sizes, and it means that creators will earn based on listener engagement and benefit from insights on how customer behavior drives royalty payments. Okay, that's all well and good. Sounds great. It's all a lot of rah-rah. And by the way, I haven't been very civil about it here, ACX. You needed to increase those royalties a long time ago, but let me get off my soapbox. Let me just give you guys the information. The expanded earning potential. Audible's new royalty model means new opportunities for independent authors and small publishers to earn across all membership listening activity. Okay, great. Reach more listeners through the all-you-can-listen catalog. For the first time, ACX creators can earn by any consumption type opt their titles into Audible's all-you-can-listen offerings, including Audible Plus. New ways to monetize and promote content will drive more flexibility to reach listeners where they are. And here's the one that I think everybody wants to hear the most: new royalty rates. Under the new royalty model, creators earn a 50% royalty rate for exclusive distribution. Notice I said exclusive here on this one here, folks. 30% royalty rate for non-exclusive distribution of titles. So now if you were to compare it to what it is currently right now, by the way, these new royalty rates are only available, and it seems like an invite-only process, so you won't have it just yet. Stay tuned. I will let you know when it comes out to all account holders. But the 50% royalty rate for exclusive distribution is a 10% increase, whereas with the non-exclusive, they've only increased it by 5%. I mean, I'll take it, but you're still throwing peanuts at me. I feel like the whole exclusive distribution rate, maybe if they do something exclusive, give us a 60% rate. Increase that non-exclusive rate to 50%. To me, I think 30% is just egregious. It's absolutely ridiculous. If Audiobook Creation Exchange could reach more avenues like libraries or other places beyond Apple, Audible, and Amazon, then yeah, sure, I would have no issues with that. I would go exclusive with ACX, but you only give me 3 avenues to choose from, whereas a distributor like Findaway Voices by Spotify reaches nearly 40 different retailers and platforms. and they're giving us an 80-20 split. Again, aggregator, but that's besides the point. They also are doing a suggested pricing on additional sites. When creators enroll in the new royalty model, they also gain access to new tools, including the ability to suggest a price for each of their enrolled titles and insights on how royalties connect with listener agreements. Okay, this is cool. They're at least allowing us some way to give feedback about how much our book could cost. Right now, it's it's a stupid system of where they will charge customers based on the length of the audiobook rather than the value contained within it. Can you imagine if a print-on-demand company did that to you? They're like, well, your book's only 200 pages, so we're gonna charge it $3.99. Thanks. What if I wanted to charge $39.99 for that? You should not be controlling my pricing because you're already controlling the royalty amount of that. So the suggested pricing, it's a good step in the right direction. Might I recommend ACX instead of doing suggested pricing, that you just allow people to go ahead and choose the pricing themselves. And just, if they don't sell enough copies, that's on them. It's not on you. You're already making billions of dollars from other people's audiobooks. At least allow the indie authors the capability of changing their pricing according to the value they feel it delivers. Whew. So, when can I enroll is the big question. Audible has engaged a small group of creators for early access to the new royalty model, and we are excited to gather insights and feedback. If you're interested in being considered for the next round of early access enrollees, we encourage you to reach out to. You ready for this, folks? This is not inside these show notes. You'll have to write this down. So if you're listening to this in your car or you're on a treadmill at the gym, stop, write this down. Early access at acx.com. Again, that's early access at acx.com. We look forward to rolling this out for all creators in the months ahead. Big kudos to ACX. I've not been the nicest person about ACX over the years, but I really do appreciate when they're making the efforts to, improve what they're giving to authors. And this is definitely in the right direction. Hey, the fine folks over at Bookvault is now expanded distribution and printing in Australia. They have it available in US and UK currently, but now they have expanded to Australia. So my folks over, my Aussies, will be able to get Bookvault from their location. Lower shipping costs, faster turnaround times, and reduced carbon emissions. Big congratulations to Bookvault on getting this new distribution. I cannot wait to see what Bookvault has cooked up here this coming year. I've been waiting on the physical box sets here for the longest time. They've been teasing me for a little over a year and a half, maybe 2 years at this point, but hopefully they will be coming around here relatively soon with the box sets here. The fine folks over at Written Word Media put out a whole article about the top 10 publishing trends for 2025. You want to go ahead and give it a read through it. They're going to talk about authors focus on building loyal audiences, authors invest in email marketing. Yes, thank you very much. I've been telling people for the longest time. You can skip a website. You can skip social media. You can skip even in-person, events if you don't feel like doing any of those. But you cannot skip email marketing. That is something that every author should have. Every author. No exception to that rule. Meta continues to dominate. Okay, great. Direct sales continue to grow, authors experiment with pricing, and so much more. You want to get the full piece, go on over and visit the link inside the show notes for the top 10 publishing trends. I'm going to be tapping on that here relatively soon. Dave Chesson just updated his article on how to find keywords that actually sell books, broad versus niche keywords. If you've been a little bit stuck and not sure about how keywords function with your metadata and your publication, might I recommend that you go back, and if you've read this before, go back and read it again because he's updated it back on January 10th, about 3 days ago. So worth your time. He also had another article he just updated recently. So keep an eye on Kindlepreneur. So worth subscribing to his email newsletter because you're going to get a lot of great information. Speaking of listicles here, the fine folks over at Miblart says the 10 book cover design trends that await us in 2025. This is interesting. So I'm going to just go ahead and go through all these really fast here. Illustrations are taking over. Number 2, eye-catching and thumbnails and stunning up close. Number 3, pop art and retro elements. Pop art and retro elements have been huge, I'd say, over the last year I've noticed. Animated book covers, gothic art, intriguing collages, abstract cover designs, typography as a key element in book cover design trends. I do that a lot with my nonfiction books. Discrete covers with bold palettes, flowery and botanic motifs. And if you want to learn a little bit more about that, go ahead and read the article. Again, link inside the show notes as per usual. This past week on this last Tuesday, I interviewed the fine folks over at Spoken.press. This is an AI digital narration platform that's unlike any of the other ones that are out there. And right now, it's 100% free to use. You want more details, go over and watch that video, but I want to highlight really quick that they mentioned this during the interview this past week about Spoken Beta version 0.7 is out. This is full audiobooks. They now support full audiobooks and custom design character voices. So in the event that you find that some of the digital narration options that they have available is not quite suiting you, the really cool thing is AI is going to go through and scan your stuff, and it's going to figure out your character profile and what's going to best fit that character. And it'll give you, I think, like 3 different options. Maybe it's 2 options or something like that. But either way, you can be able to select those things, and you're looking at like a fraction of a cent for each word that it's being used for something like that. But big things happening for Spoken. If you've been an author that want to get audiobooks out, but you do not have the money to hire a human narrator or voiceover talent, then this is possibly one of the best ways to kind of break ground there. And Spoken's continuing to evolve. And gosh, just in the past few months of me knowing about this platform, they've just grown so much. But I've never been a big fan of digital narration. However, what Spoken's been doing is actually good. This pains me to say because I just don't like digital narration. I see a video that has digital narration, I'm like, pass, boom, out of here. I don't buy any audiobooks, digital narration, but gotta tell you, this is actually getting pretty good. Now, will I use a human narrator versus a digital narration? Most likely because I can still continue to afford a human narrator. But in the event that you're a bit more cash strapped and looking for options, Spoken might be for you. Moving a little further forward, Ingram Spark actually put together a nice piece here for January to June 2025 is the ultimate list of book fairs, festivals, and conferences. I highly recommend that you go over, look through this list of lists, do a quick search and find, just hit Control F on your keyboard, and then type in your area. So for instance, mine's Ohio. So I just went ahead and looked up Ohio, and there was a number of events that are going to be happening. Highly recommend you go ahead and look into that, especially anything that's going to be author-based, because you can be able to connect with people in the local area. And it's always nice when you're getting to work with authors in person, because I don't know, there's something so much more special to that. And if for some reason you don't want to connect with other authors, well, you can also go to reader events and put yourself out there and get yourself in front of some more readers. Moving a little further forward, the fine folks over at Publish Drive are now going to be doing another survey about help shape the future of AI in publishing. So they want to get a little bit more details. This survey is designed to take about 20 to 30 minutes, so grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let us hear your thoughts. We encourage you to share openly and honestly because your experiences are invaluable in shaping meaningful solutions. Folks, if you want to have direct say on the direction of a platform like Publish Drive, one of the best ways to do that is to answer the survey. So if you're anti-AI or you're pro-AI, now's a good time to be heard, because if you don't let your voice be heard, they will just assume that pushing forward is probably the right thing to do. Or maybe it's not the right thing to do. Only way to do that is get into the survey. Last year they had 250 respondents. I'm sure a few more of you can kind of get involved. All right, tomorrow I'm really excited to be joined by Vincent B. Davis II. He is a historical fiction author who is also an Amazon ads expert. We are going to be going live tomorrow, January 14th at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Daytime. If you're listening to this on the audio podcast, it will be today at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Daytime. But we are going to be talking about why your Amazon ads fail and how to fix them. We're going to be doing a new segment called Audit My Ads. There's a lot of people that aren't really sure about, where to go, how to do it, things like that. There is a link if you would like your ads to be audited inside the show notes. Click on that. Go ahead and get yourself applied there. All we need to know is we need some screenshots and some more details. You just answer the questionnaire. It will take you all of about 5 minutes altogether. If this goes well tomorrow, we will be doing something like that again. So make sure that you load us on up. Again, that is tomorrow, January 14th at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Daytime. Big shout out to Vincent B. Davis. And then as if that's not enough for you tomorrow, January 14th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll be joining the State of Publishing in 2025. It's a presentation by the fine folks over at Twin Flames Studios. Good friend of mine, Tina Dietz. She's a former guest here at the podcast. Tina's just a fantastic person. I am actually going to be joined by, of course, Tina is going to be the moderator, and I'll have Jane Friedman, the legend of the hot sheet. Jane Friedman is very well respected in all of publishing, both trad and indie pub. And of course, Andrea Fleck Nesbitt from IBPA, the Independent Book Publishers Association. There's going to be 3 people here, and my gosh, there's a little bit of pressure here. I've got 2 big heavy hitters in this space, but I anticipate this should be a fun and meaningful conversation. We will be discussing the state of publishing in 2025 and some of our speculative insights about what's going to be coming in the pipeline. So this is a free event. Make sure you go ahead and visit the link down inside the show notes as per usual. And then this Thursday, I will be joining the fine folks over at Draft Digital for their Self-Publishing Insiders 2025 Publishing All-Star Predictions. It's crazy to think it's been over a year ago that I did the 2024 Publishing All-Star Predictions, but this year I'll be doing it again. I believe, oh gosh, Joanna Penn might be involved. Let's see here. I'm going to be there, obviously. Jim Acevedo, I'm sure he's going to probably moderate. I think Lexi might be involved. Hopefully Lexi's there. If not, I'll probably see Lexi in the background. But there are a handful of other people that are going to be involved in this. That will be on this Thursday, January 16th at 1 p.m. Eastern Daytime. Big shout out real quick to my brother from another mother, as some people would say, Ross Brand. Ross just released book 5 of 100 live streaming and digital media predictions. Top content creators help you succeed in an era of rapid change. I've actually got a contribution inside the volume 5. This will be the 5th book I've been involved in, so I've been involved with all of them. Ross is a good friend of mine. Go ahead and pick up a copy on ebook or paperback when you visit the link inside the show notes. And then a big shout out to a good friend of mine, Nuria Corby. She just informed me that she is now publishing books under her own pen name, Come on, Dale. Under her name. And the most latest release she put out is called The Positivity Switch, Practical Steps to a Happier You. Nuria is one of my good friends. Love her to death. Go pick up a copy of it and make sure that you leave a review for her. She is fantastic. So I imagine this will be the self-help book for your shelf for sure. And last but not least, of course, I got to go ahead and big mention to the fine folks over at Book Award Pro. Get yourself free or premium access of Book Award Pro and get yourself access to awards and reviews when you go ahead and visit my affiliate link at dalelinks.com/Book Award Pro. What did you think about some of the news? What did you think about Audiobook Creation Exchange and the royalty increase? It's exciting. You looking forward to it? What kind of questions do you have? I'd like to hear from you for sure. Join me over on Discord, dalelinks.com/Discord, and we'll go ahead and keep this conversation going. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I will catch you next week. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Special shout out to my channel members for both the podcast channel and the main channel. Without your support, some projects we do at Self-Publishing with Dale would be much harder to fund. If you want to contribute to the cause, visit dalelinks.com/memberships for details and get your on-screen shout out at the end of each broadcast. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll see you soon.